Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're having a great day so far. We are going to get into why is today important. It'll be important. We'll get into it, but stocks did not sell off today as global economy fears linger. Okay, we were supposed to have some sort of bearish day. People bought today. It takes a while for stocks to really come down after this much inflation, but we'll have to see. That's a good sign, even though Bitcoin is down right now. The sign that stocks are up and Bitcoin is down. It doesn't look too well, but if stocks did end up going down, we know that we would see a larger push downwards. But yeah, the big news is going to be the Elon Musk. Okay, the Elon Musk versus Jack from Twitter is going to be happening tomorrow. Which Elon Musk is really bearish on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on basically crypto in general. So expect that to have some price effect when that happens tomorrow. We know Elon Musk has some effect on price, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. Something to definitely look out for. We're going to see some volatility, right? We're going to see some volatility the next day, right? We've seen it today. We're going to see it tomorrow. It's just what's going to happen. But BlockFi ordered to stop opening new interest accounts in New Jersey. Pretty big. I don't like BlockFi too much. They were offering double-digit APY, while fintechs offer 1% yields. Sounds a little fishy, right? It sounds a little fishy. We've seen this happen in crypto a few times, like last bull run, where you're offering way too much APY than you can handle, and no wonder you're offering 10x what most fintech companies can offer. But yep, guess guys, be careful. Stablecoins are not money, says Fed attorney. This is going to be big as well. They had some conversation about Tether in Washington, so we're going to have that have some effect on price. We're going to need to see what happens from that. Tether is just a few kicks in the wrong direction. Let's just say some stuff comes out about Tether. You never know, right? We never know. Something's probably going to happen with Tether just in the current situation that they are in. But for the most part, right, just be prepared. Have your stop losses in place if you're going to be holding long term. And yeah, let's get into the charts. Okay, so what do we see? All right, let me get into this one. This one's easier. All right, so we saw the leg down that happened. Did not take too long for us to really. It didn't take too long for us to see, that massive leg down. Right now, we are a little bit above the VWAP after this leg down, which is completely normal. We could have a continuation back to the downside. But for the main part of the short term, we are in a downtrend, as you guys can tell. You don't want to fight against the trends, as that is how you make less profitable trades. But for the most part, we are showing some bearishness, but we did reach an important demand zone. Okay, this is an important demand zone. If you guys want to learn how to draw supports and resistances the right way, you're mainly looking just for a zone. Okay, what you guys are doing, first of all, is you should be taking off wicks if you're going to draw trend lines or supports or whatever it might be, because that's where price closed. Doesn't matter if it wicks down. You're not drawing on the wicks. That's not the way you draw supports and resistances. That's not where price wanted to close. It's not where the market wanted to push it. But yeah, you take the first bullish or the first bearish candle in a downtrend or an uptrend, and that does get hit. That's how you really draw them. But we will normally see price gravitate towards it, right? We saw this zone get hit, and price is going up. But at the same time, we need to see price, as of in the short term, make a move higher than currently this VWAP. Normally what happens is we'll kind of consolidate up here and then go for the next leg down. And the next leg down, if we did have that sort of problem to the downside, we'd be looking at around, I would say, 28 to around 27K would be the next area. And it's gonna, with these news events coming with Tether, Washington, Washington will do anything in its power to probably, create some stuff. You guys know Nancy Pelosi. She loves her trading, and you've seen her buy Tesla calls, a day before Joe Biden signed whatever it was into electric car deal. It happens. And, for them to kick Bitcoin a little bit, to the downside would be great opportunity for them. As, that's just how things work. It could be publicly traded on the markets right now for them. So that's a good opportunity. And they could buy prices lower. So, I mean, the fact that we still don't have that much buying power at this 31, at this 32K, it's showing weakness, okay? But we do have the possibility, obviously, of coming back to the upside. We just need to break out through this zone, and we need to kind of, consolidate at least in this 300 zone, this 30K 300 zone. But then the next point of resistance is going to be around this 3,700. We could have a potential breakdown, and we need to make sure to be prepared for that if that does happen. This could be some zone that we bounce off of. But if we do break through that, next zone is going to be 31,700. Makes it a lot easier if you guys draw boxes as well, because you're not just trying to pinpoint one support or one resistance. Okay, price doesn't. You'll never get the perfect trade on that one support or resistance. But you want to know what can happen is you could end up. You put your support there, you put your resistance here. Now you have two zones to trade in. Okay, and what you're doing is you're looking for the reversal once we get into the zone. For example, once we got into this zone, what did we see? We saw an engulfing candle. It stalled out a price, and then another engulfing candle. Engulfing candles are great momentum swings. You normally see an engulfing candle and then a swing in momentum. Yeah, it's a great kind of signal to, if we are in that zone where you think the price is going to reverse, and you see some sort of bullish, engulfing candle or bearish engulfing candle, it's a pretty good indicator, that, your zone that you're in is going to reverse. That's kind of how you have to be trading these zones. Is you're not trading in the middle. You're not trading, in some random direction. You guys are trading from, demands and supply zones. And if you guys, can master that and then master price action, it really becomes, a lot higher probability of, winning. And yeah, I have been working on the book. It will be done here in the next day. Spent a few hours on that. It's looking good. But for the main part, right, of today's episode, we're going to be going through some of these altcoins. But before we go into that, we got to go into the important zones for Bitcoin. Like we said, we have this 34K. Guys, if we couldn't get bought up down here, it's going to be very, very hard for price to push up here with these events that are coming in. Right? We've had bullish news. What has bullish news done to the price? Not much. Really not much. But what I am looking for now is some sort of inverse head and shoulders to a move to the upside. This could be a little bit of a nice move, because want to know what inverse head and shoulders really live off of? They live off of these candles. Okay, what candles am I talking about? These bad boys right here, easily retraceable. Right? When you don't have price consolidating, you could just break through those very easily. And what do we see? Right? Boom, there's another one right there, kind of right there too as well. It would be very easy for us to, make that move to the upside. You guys notice how we do this every single time? Have you picked up on the pattern that every time we drop down fast, we'll have a nice little push up? Yeah, well, it's something that you guys need to take into consideration. There's no reason in shorting an asset when it's hit a demand zone, right? When it hits a supply zone, yeah, go for it, right? But you need to wait for that trend reversal. And yeah, it really gives you some more confirmation. But yeah, go with the trend. Don't always try and go against it. But yeah, we need to figure out really why is today important. I'll go over that one more time. Is we're at a point in time where if we go to the daily chart and we look at volume, right, we look like we're screwed, okay? And the fact of the matter is we haven't really seen, these wicks, as you guys can see here. I'm on the daily, right? Look at the daily. We haven't seen wicks close down here. And yeah, it's very, very crucial today that we do make some sort of move, because even if we do break back above this 32,800 zone, which is possible because we have these candles that are easily possible, we still made that lower low. And like I said, wicks are very important, because that's where the institutions, that's where the banks wanted to send price up to. That's where they wanted to close the candle. They didn't want to close it down here, right? They wanted to close it all the way, up there. And you notice that, that's important. And if you look at price right now, we are kind of in the zone of doom, which is, 27, 26K, and not really much support or resistance here. And then we have this 23K zone. And we'll have to see if we hold. I think we will. But at the same time, I'm just going to be ready. And we need to make sure to be looking at these altcoins as well, as they're going to be important. But yeah, make sure, guys, understand wicks are not important. It's where they close is really where it's important as well. And also, just another tip for you guys, trend lines. Don't ever, ever, ever draw trend lines if there's wicks involved. You're never drawing them off of wicks. They're inaccurate. And your trend lines should be drawn with some sort of zone. So it's a little bit, you could still put your trend line. Oh, wrong one. You could still put your trend line inside of this zone, but just to have a more accurate zone, as sometimes there are wicks above, because bankers and professional traders know that, all they have to do is wick it above. You're going to buy in, and they'll bring it down on you. But yeah, we are still in this downtrend, very strong downtrends from this. We have 3 touches. 3 touches is, kind of confirming on the daily. This is, around the 32K zone. And if we do break out of this, it would be nice. But yeah, could be forming a little bit of a head and shoulders. But every time we have formed a head and shoulders, we have not closed below this range. All right. Elon killed the money. All right. So what are your thoughts on price long-term for Engine? A year from now, looking to buy something attractive in this dip. Any recommendations? No recommendations just yet. I'm not going to be going over too many altcoins. Probably in the near future. It's just I don't enjoy going over altcoins too much unless the prices are extremely low. Because I know some of you guys, even though I'll tell, don't buy it. Don't fucking buy it. You'll buy it. And the main part of the problem is FOMO, ape. And you just gotta wait. You gotta be patient. I know you don't understand TA too much, but TA is it's something that you just need to work towards, and you could understand it. I'm putting everything in like a 300-page book, and I promise if you work on it slowly, you will understand why TA is so important. Help you out with picking good coins, and where to set your stop losses, all of that. You don't need to trade away your money. You guys have to understand that the main goal of TA is just to get higher probability trades. When you guys are trading, I know all of you guys, right? You love to trade in the middle of ranges. You don't like to trade at the tops or the bottoms. Your main goal is to find, the supply, the demand zone, and then the resistances of that range, right? And you're doing this based off of the fact that, that's going to give you the highest probability trade. If you guys want to play day trading, go right ahead. We can go over some tactics on that, but for the main part, you need to make sure, to understand that we're just going to play off of, these higher probability zones, because, that's where you're going to learn the most. You guys can go on to the shorter time frames, of course. But yeah, just play off the higher probability zones. You do have a good chance. I'll go into Engine real quick. I think I actually have it pulled up. I could tell you some really good stuff with Engine. Let me actually pull it up. ENGUSDT. All right, here we go. So what do we see with Engine right now? All right, well, Engine currently, let me load some data onto Engine. Well, we see, let's see where I could drag up and down. All right. Got to drag to the side a little bit. But as of right now, not too much volatility with Engine Coin right now. And we don't really see too much support or resistance around those areas. I'll wait for this to load and I'll pull it back up. But yeah, we'll get into that. I can't do too much TA. I do feel like, Engine is on Coinbase. It's already gotten that hype. Why not buy a coin that's going to get listed on Coinbase that is going to be Engine capabilities? All right? Just think. Engine's already released on Coinbase. It did 100% off of that. And you have the ability, to buy a coin that's, VC'd by Engine. And, you know, it gives you a good possibility that they're going to get listed on Coinbase. So that's great. But yeah, all right, so let's go into a few predictions as well on a few of these other altcoins. Like we said, if you guys look at this daily, if you guys just look at this daily, okay, what does it look like to you? All right, we're not gonna interpret it, you know, from other people's perspectives. If we close down here, oh geez, guys, oh geez, this close yesterday, I was gonna get on, I was gonna stream, but I was like, no, I need to write this book. And then this close, I said I needed to come on. This is bad. Just wanted to give you guys a forewarning. If we do not close above at least 30, we're probably going to have that other leg down. As you guys can see, we've stalled out in price. You know, we stall out in price a little bit here, I guess you could say, but we have large leg downs, right? This was a pretty nice leg down. They like to bring us low, right? And then they like to scare us here, bring us up, scare us here, bring us up, grab your liquidity. But when there's no new money coming to the market, and when we have as low of volume as we do back when we were at prices around 14K, you know, it's not worth it for the market makers to bring the price up to not get anything, right? They'd rather trade stocks where stocks are still going up today. That's just the, you know, the truth of the matter right there. But like I said, you know, we don't have much hope here, but we do have, you know, opportunity off of, you know, this devastation by being able to preserve our capital. You know, preserving your capital is everything. If you guys are losing consistently, in this time and era of, you know, Bitcoin coming down, you'll realize, you know, preserving your capital is the #1 goal of investing. You have to come into investing with that mindset. But we have made the move to support 2, by the way, from this pivotal point. We talked about pivotal points, I believe, at some point. And how do I play off these pivotal points? How do I get my entries in? Well, if we show that we're in a downtrend or an uptrend, I'm obviously going to be trading off of that. And kind of broke through this weak trend and only touched 2 times. But what I'm looking for is a drop, a consolidation period, and I will be looking for some sort of trade off of that. And how am I going to be doing that? Only trading the trend that it is in, and this has a tight stop loss. Had a few trades work out pretty well, and let me turn back on Wix real quick, show you guys how do you entry on this. But yeah, no. Don't do this until you guys really get familiar with the book that I'm going to be releasing. All right. So basically, what I'm doing here is I'm drawing from this drop. We stuttered right here. We had a drop down. I'm grabbing the lower low and the higher high, swing high to the swing low. And once we get to this 0.5 area, to this 0.618, I am putting in a short. We'll get to the upside. But why am I doing this, okay? First of all, I need to see a wick or a candle close above the VWAP. That's one confluence, okay? And the second one is I need to see a resistance zone if I'm going to be shorting. 1 resistance, 2 resistance, and then we have the pivotal point resistance. So that's a lot of confluence right there. I don't even need to look at market structure if I have all that confluence. That's a high setup for a trade. We'll go into why is the 0.5 and the 0.618 zone even significant. All right. Well, when we have large drops, okay, and you see some sort of a reversal to the upside or to the downside, we're always going to have pullbacks, no matter which way you're looking at it. This is the pullback to the upside that we had from this drop, and we continue to drop. We had a lot of hard zones for us to break out of. And all I'm doing is I'm setting my stop loss right at this 0.786 level. And I'm going to be, probably my risk to reward on this is probably 2 to 1. I'm not leveraging too much. I don't advise you guys to leverage. You can't do this on the lower time frames. It's just on the hour. But it's just a little example of when we have these drops down, we have a little pullback. This is when you guys would enter, a long position. You would go from, the swing low to the swing high. You would wait for some sort of break above the VWAP. Above the VWAP, you'd wait for a candle to close and then retest and then put in your order. You would have bought here and you would have bought here because those would have been 2 good orders for you guys to get on this move. The VWAP is extremely, extremely important. But yes, it will be mapped out, going over a bunch of strategies. It's been a few hours me working on that. But let's get into some other altcoins. Let's get into Ethereum. Bitcoin price levels, I believe we said, I'm not sure what we even said, to be honest. Just lower levels. Let me look on Bookmap. We're going to be using Bookmap, all right? It's a great site. It's a great site. So, yeah, you actually get, right? You actually get real data on volume. I actually get real data on volume, guys, believe it or not. Believe it or not, I get real data on volume. But yeah, volume is extremely important as well. If we go back into that strategy, right, we want to see volume kind of decrease in that area, because then that's a good representation, you know, that we're going to have some push to the downside. Let me actually zoom out here. Let's go into where are the orders in right now? Where are the order books showing where people want to buy at? Okay, if we zoom really far out, let's see where people want to buy at. All right, so let's see. I think we had a really far down level. Let's see if we have it yet. Not really. Nope, not really. So not too many zones. The other day we had a 24K buy zone with a ridiculous amount of Bitcoin. But what this is basically showing me, real-time data of how all of these orders are going throughout all exchanges. We have a large wall up here at the 30K zone, and a lot of selling pressure up there, but we are in some sort of uptrend, as you guys can see right here. This is a shorter time frame, but yet again, we are in some sort of uptrend, but it is not strong. It is not identifiable. We've had large pullbacks, shorter, higher highs. You want to see a large higher high and a larger higher high, but volatility right now is dying off. So I would expect some move to the downside, probably reverse this trend as we see, you know, lower on the push up. But for the main part, you know, I do think that we're going to come back down at least. Here, let me zoom out a little bit. Boom. All right. Here we go. I think we'll at least come back down to, I would say, around this, what's this level at? This 28-ish, 29-ish level to reclaim, you know, some liquidity that we've had from this dip right here. That was a decent dip that we had. You know, it was a decent dip, fast, quick, inverted head and shoulders. It wasn't too much percentage. It was just a few percentage. If you caught it, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. Don't aim for those. If you do, you know, are in the opportunity to trade a head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders, let's get into that before we go into anything else, okay? I know you guys are like trading. It's impossible. Head and shoulders, everyone talks about it. Everyone talks about it. All right, no, they don't, okay? So when you're looking for a head and shoulders, there's two main things that no one talks about, right? It's volume and the angle of the trends, okay? Because you're looking for some sort of angle. What do you mean angle, okay? So you're looking for either ascending or a descending angle, okay? You want to be able to see, you know, that trend is reversing, and you want to be on the no wicks. I've been a fan of no wicks ever since someone told me some crazy statistics on it. But yeah, so basically what we're looking for is, you know, some sort of trends where we see, you know, if you guys look down here, volume's not that reliable in TradingView, but we see, you know, we get to this top, volume dies down, you know, we kind of have this push up, volume dies down at the top, and then we have this large push down, right? Of course, you're not going to see that in real-time data, but what do we see? First of all, we see a support right here, okay? Breakthrough support, right? This is a support that we've had, as you guys can see. What we're going to do here is we're going to take, you know, one of these lines because we are in an uptrend, right? We see that the head and shoulders isn't flat. When you trade a flat head and shoulders, it's not a high probability of success. We'll get into inverted real quick. But what you're waiting for is, yeah, you could short the top when you see volume dies down, right? It's a little bit more riskier. But if you have a decent, you know, resistance up there, I mean, not a bad idea, especially when you see an engulfing candle like you do right here, pushing down price after we have that low volume. Because when we have that low volume, you know, it's a very good indicator that, you know, if we do have a large engulfing candle, they can send price down in the opposite direction. But for the main part, right, we dropped, broke through the support, broke through the trend line, and then we had this consolidation point, right? if we keep on continuing this trend line out, as you guys can see here, we never came back up to it. We couldn't break above the VWAP. Instead, we just broke through this trend, had a little bit of a reversal to the upside, could not break through that resistance, and then broke down. This one was a little bit tricky. But at the same time, if you just stick to having some sorts of ascending or descending trend line in them, it's not difficult at all. You will see volume die off. Volume dies off. We have a little bit of a pump, and then they retrace these candles. Like I said, when you have a candle that goes up this fast and you have dead volume at the top with a hard resistance above it, chances are is you're breaking down. Okay, that's just the chances of it. But yeah, you want to use ascending or descending lines to really take advantage of those. But yeah, we'll get into Ethereum real quick. I know a lot of people want to hear about Ethereum. And what are my predictions on Ethereum? Well, I currently do not trade Ethereum too much just because of the price action. But I can do some TA on it. As you guys see here, what do we see? And you guys are just zooming in, okay? You're zooming in to, try and get some sort of trend line. Trend lines do work, but just without wicks. That one worked pretty well, right? How else could you have traded this? Okay, well, large head and shoulders, kind of a weird double top fake out right here. How do you know that this isn't the head and shoulders? Well, because you can be trading this, but it was tight stop losses. But you see volatility pick up once, twice, slams to the downside, hits off this resistance, this support that we have right here. But for the main part, right, wouldn't have been that high of a RR trade, so you probably didn't want to do it. But yeah, yet again, we saw the same thing up there, but yet again, we saw, this sort of volatility die down. You could have head and shoulder patterns that look different. Okay, they can look extremely different, but as long as they are making, their higher highs and then they go into lower lows and they have some sort of reversal, that's literally all they are. But yeah, we saw that we came down and, we kind of lost volatility right here, picked it back up again, right? And then we slammed back through, but we could not break through these resistance lines, right? Resistance and support lines is what you have to use for price action. And pivotal points as well are really important, and trend lines. But for the main part of it, you got to just realize that when we see volatility pick up, but we are at some sort of support or resistance, probably going to break through or break down from it. But you're trying to find as many things as you can to get the highest probability of a trade setup. And that's what I kind of want to talk to you guys about. You will have a book, even if you're someone who's not the smartest. You don't need to be smart to trade. You just need to be absolutely emotionless. And the fact of you just have a set of rules, you're a robot and you follow the rules, and then you'll do just fine. I can promise you that. But not a lot of you guys have the ability to bounce back like a robot can. But as you guys can see right here, with Ethereum, for example, of the supply and the demand zone actually drawn correctly, you will see that, our last bearish candle, okay? This was our first bullish, actually. All right, let's go. Let's go show you how important it is to be trading out of these zones. Not a lot of people know this. They should. All right. First bullish push on this candle, okay? First bullish push on this candle was where you draw your demand zone. People bought down there. What did they do? They brought price up, pushed it back down to that same exact spot. And why did they do that? Because we're in a downtrend, right? You're looking to short at the tops when we're in a downtrend, and you're looking to long at the bottoms when we're in uptrends for a higher probability success rate. That would have been a short right there, considering the fact that was some divergence, right? But for the main part, we are looking for, these types of things. And what do we see here? Okay, we'll just extend that. Whoops. We'll extend that. Boom. It hit the same area, guys. And then we did make a little move to the upside, okay? But with Ethereum right now, we still made that move. But at the same time, we've kind of hit this zone 3 times. It is a strong buying zone. So if we do hit it again, would not be a bad idea to put in a buy order, but then have your stop loss fairly close underneath it. And you're like, what the hell? Like you're so bearish, but you're saying that. But no, we have a good support here. We could reverse off of this area as we do have large volatility. Could be a few percent that you can make, but make sure to set your stop loss and then possibly a hedge underneath it. Or what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a demand zone here. If you see some sort of engulfing candle to the upside, you could draw your fib. You could go. Let me throw on the wicks. We'll go over the fib rules one more time. Then I'll get into some of your questions. Sorry, this didn't. I was writing a few things down, and I was like, kind of in the mood. All right, so we're in a range first of all, right? Resistance, support. Right. Well, we see that we have some sort of push towards. Well, I wouldn't even consider that. I'd probably even go up to there, but we'll just use this one as an example and then go to the other one and why. Because this is really just consolidation fake out. But we see that we had this downturn in price, not that large of a break to the downside, considering the fact we had price all the way up here, whatever it might be. Let me put that back. But what you're looking for exactly is, you're looking for the opposite. This would be, to short, but instead of the short, right? You're like, oh, I'm putting this down here. This would be a good buy level. No, you're looking for the breakage of the VWAP with these candles and at a strong support, at support 2 on the pivotal points. And you're looking for, momentum's kind of swinging up. We are breaking above the VWAP. We have a bullish engulfing candle or any bullish pattern in general, right? And you're going to be looking, swing low to swing high. All right. And you are going to be looking at getting into some sort of buy order once we do see that break above it. And that's only due to the fact of you have 1, you have 2, you have 3 confirmations, and you have the fact that we've been in this demand zone for how long, right? How long we've been into it? For a pretty long time. So chances are is we're most likely going to see that zone transpire. If we even go a little bit further, boom, right? You're waiting to see the reversal though, as well. You want to see it close above. You're not going into your order on some random gut feeling. But yeah, that's how you guys have to do entries. Even if you're holding long term, it's probably important for you to know entries. Also, where can Ethereum go if we drop below this? Okay, where can it go? We can see prices. Reclaim these $1,500 levels. That would not be something crazy to say. I know everyone's been saying 1,200, maybe even 1,000. Okay, those are all possible levels, and might as well have them in there, just for some like if they do happen, you could say exactly, right? Exactly. No, I mean it's just the fact of having the ability to spot demand and supply zones. Like this is demand, people buy here. They do work very well, but at the same time, you need to understand that the closer they are, the better that they'll work. Because, think about the ones all the way back there, right? A lot of these zones all the way from back here, right? They had a bunch of money just dumped on them for no reason because people, FOMO, bunch of money dumped on top of them. So that's kind of, where we're seeing most of that. I do see, though, this probably as being some sort of zone when we do come down to around this $1,600 level. Probably get some support around this area, as that is actually a pretty decent zone. But yeah, if we do break through this current zone of around 1712, we could come down to the 1578 area, and that is just because of these demand zones. And where are people going to sell off their Ethereum? All right. Well, we got to look at price action. We got to look at price action before we even, get there. But good possibility of us, selling off around this 1900 zone, as we are in a downtrend. Okay. We did have that nice little pump with Ethereum, but what happens when we had that little pump with Ethereum? We had the little dump with Ethereum, right? Large candle to the upside, large candle to the downside, lower lows. Trend is over, right? Trend's over. We even made a lower high here. Macro time frame, we were on a downtrend if you missed. Yeah, and great point. Great point is, yeah, you guys are looking for a large drop in price, and then you guys are looking for the next little drop in price, and then you're going to be putting in some of those orders if we're at a support. You're just drawing your fibs. I know a lot of you guys are probably, I don't want to don't want to give you the wrong advice. But yeah, we're going to be drawing the fibs, waiting for price to break above or below if we're going to short the VWAP. But yeah, for the main part, we need to see, we need to see some of these zones right here, right here, right here, right here. Just kind of looking. I mean, I just don't. I'd like Ethereum. Don't get me wrong, but I do like to see other coins with more price action. If you trade off of what anyone else is saying, no, I'm not saying to trade off of what I'm saying. All I'm saying is to make sure that you have a strategy, okay? If you're trading without a strategy, what are you doing, okay? If you're buying without a strategy, what are you doing, right? You have to be consistent. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to make a set of rules, a set of guidelines. If you want to trade, if you want to do anything, if you want to research, you have to have that set of rules, especially with trading, because that's where people get wrecked the most. You need to see that set of guidelines. You need to see where is, the best price to buy. Okay. If I don't know the best price to buy, why am I trying to trade this? Why am I trading this in the middle of wherever this asset is? And the sad part is, a lot of you guys make this mistake over and over and over. You need help. You need guideline. You need just a guide. Like you guys need a strategy. You need some sort of push in the right direction. Then you could do it. If you're going to work hard, of course, 96% of people fail because they don't have the ability to control their emotions, control, just making a goddamn list and learning what price action is, and learning market structure. And I mean, yeah, it takes a lot of work, but you could have hold long term, still use long term TA to understand that volume is going down. We're going to go to lower levels. Let's be honest. Stock market's not doing too well. We're going to go to lower levels. Let's wait to buy. Okay. When are we gonna buy? Probably, lower prices, not now, like 1,200 ETH, maybe 1,300 ETH. Yeah, don't sell. You don't need to sell. It'll come back up. It's just, I'm not the type of person that likes to keep my money in a fire. I know you guys might not see that, right? But when I look at, some of these charts sometimes, it's, my money's in cold storage, right? It's like, I understand you don't know TA, but it's just, it hurts, just watching people hold their money in a fire, because it's all about accumulating fiat. If it's just going to go up, like imagine like, oh, it's just going to go up eventually after it goes down a lot. like imagine if, just hold your dollars, guys. It's going to go down a lot, but then it's going to come back up. I just don't like the feeling of that, I have been looking into, let me see if I have it up. Where did that go? Yeah. Yeah, I did pull up Engine. We'll go check Engine coin, for example. No, not a good example. But yeah, Engine coin, not a good example there. But yeah, let's go just check out prices real quick. Kind of curious to see what everything is doing. It's probably a little bit too confusing. Probably should keep this in the Discord. You're right. But yeah, let's just go through trends. Let's go one more time with Rune. They got hacked. I'm not sure if you guys heard the news. I believe we talked about this. Someone told me. Some amazing person told me Rune was hacked. Yet again, even the best cryptos can get hacked. Even the best cryptos can get hacked. So many people believed in Rune. I mean, they're a great exchange. Really one of the, I bet Binance hacked them. I bet Binance did. Yeah, it really had some competition. But for the main part, yeah, this does feel bad, man. It does feel bad. But you have to understand, this is something that, back in, March, February, January, even December, we had, higher volume than we did right now for a lot of these cryptos. And you just got to make sure, see an uptrend in volume. and then you could buy. Like, who cares if you miss out on 10, 20% of the pump to the upside, right? Who cares, okay? As long as you know that you don't have your money in a burning fire. So what the price goes up 10%, right? So what, like there's probably going to be some sort of move to the downside. There's probably been a little indicator, and I just don't like the narrative of, hold, right? Tether's a scam, everything's FUD. Just hold. Like, it's borderline, like, if you're coming from an outside perspective, it's a little crazy. It's a little bit crazy. It'll go up in the end, right? Load up on ADA. Did buy Doge. I mean, guys, Doge is a good crypto. Like, a lot of people hate on the technicals of it, but when Elon talks tomorrow about Doge, what do you think it's gonna do? Okay, what do you think Doge is gonna do tomorrow? Let me pull up actually Doge on this to show you guys a little something. Doge is gonna have a good day tomorrow, in my opinion. Okay. I think Elon is going to wreck. If you guys don't know, Elon Musk is going to be talking. Let me actually load this, and then we'll come back to it. Elon Musk is going to be talking to the owner of Twitter about why he's so bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Elon has a point. Ethereum's massively overpriced right now, and they've been trying to fix the prices for a while. Yes, the prices are lower, but it's still a massive, massive price. And Bitcoin's a little bit slow, right? And, these technologies got to change at some point. What if tomorrow, this is another thing why I was, today's kind of critical is, what if we have, a talk with Elon where it's him just completely shitting on Bitcoin and Ethereum, just shitting all over them and giving actual good, data and facts behind it. And, why would he agree to talk just to get shit on? That's not the type of person he is. So I do think, that's, we got to be careful about that. It's going to be a little high volatility day tomorrow, as Elon, does have the ability to do that. But yeah, as you guys can see here, we had some support from that little wick down. So you would have drawn this right here for Doge. Look at, oh, there we go. Would have been able to get that buy zone right there, right? You would have been able to get that buy zone, but then when we broke through it, right, we came back down to the lower part. We could have dropped through there. Elon saved the day and support to save the day. You guys just need to understand price action, how price works. It does work a certain way, and it's it's nothing but a little bit of reading, a lot of bit of reading, and a lot of bit of practice. But yeah, I do think, Dogecoin, bull on Dogecoin. I honestly am. Okay, I honestly am. Just think about it, right? Elon shits on him, right? We're basically placing bets on who's gonna win this fight tomorrow night. All right, who do you guys think's gonna win? Let's have some fun here. Who's gonna win this fight tomorrow? Right? If you guys want to bet, okay, buy Doge at the next support level, right? That's the bet for the day, right? Buy Doge at the next resistance level, right? I mean, you have to understand that Dogecoin does have that community. It's great. It's great for any crypto that you're buying into, knowing that they got brainwashed holders that they'll put their money in a burning fire and they will happily sit by and smile. Holding USDC right now. Well, no, Doge does have good support at 17. Yeah, it does. We just tested it twice. If we hold it, right? If we don't, we still have support at 13 cents. I mean, that's not bad, right? You guys remember when it was 7 cents? Who remembers that? Wasn't too long ago. All right, so let me get into some of your guys' cryptos. Come on. The house always wins. Yep. Well, if you keep on going up against the house, you're going to lose. What's up with indicator sheets or videos? Yeah, I'm releasing a book, Jamal Adam. And it's going to have a bunch of different, the beginnings of basic market structure and then complex market structure. And until you know market structure, until you know price action, then you can go into indicators. It just doesn't make sense if you don't understand. You're just going too deep. But for the main part, right? Doge is not a shit coin. It's not a shit coin, period. It's actually not a shit coin. If you think about it, okay, it has capabilities to be something from a fundamental perspective that's actually pretty decent. Shit, just hit my head. But at the same time, you have to understand, there's not too much of, there's not too many people that will go up against the Doge community and the fact that they do have use case. I don't want to see you getting hurt going up against Dogecoin, and it's already dropped down a significant amount. We'll see. I do think it's going to drop, obviously, but it's not going to drop as much as some of these other cryptos. We're seeing it pump right now. Did Elon tweet? Let me go check. Let me go check Doge real quick. Watch this. Boom. Do you guys like when I use this? This probably looks a little bit confusing. Let me take off a few things. I'm basically, so it's basically what I use to get some good reads. All right, let's take this off. A little bit tired, guys. A little bit tired today. Yep, it did come on, though. Did come on. For the most part, all right, let's see what Doge is doing right now. Let me get some water. Nothing too impressive. Thought it pumped up. It looked like it did. I mean, we did kind of come off. But at the same time, I do think tomorrow, guys, we're gonna see something special with Doge. We're gonna see a rally. Let's keep this going, okay? AXS. Yeah, this was my crypto for the past 2 days that I was watching a little bit. If you guys want to see something cool, okay? If you guys have never you guys ever pulled a chair? You guys ever sat in one of those chairs where they have 3 legs? You ever put it upside down and sat on it? Right? This is what happened if you bought up here with this one crypto in around 4 or 5 days. You went down around 50%. And I mean, hopefully, I know none of you guys did that if you watched my channel, because we were talking about how as quick as things come up, once we do have the downside and the NFTs die off, which they will eventually, it's going to be looking very nice. And yeah, it did. It did look very nice for, some people. It did look nice for some people, but for the majority of money that was in here, it got screwed, right? Not everyone could win. You guys have to put that into your brains. Not everyone can win it. Are you going to be able to win? Okay. Are you going to be able to put in the time and the efforts of, having an edge and being able to win? If not, you're going to consistently lose again in crypto. How many hours are you putting in a day to actual useful things that will make you money in crypto? Yes, actual useful things. What is that? Okay. Understanding, how price works, with, research. If you guys are researching, if you guys are trading, you should know, right, as a researcher, what makes a coin go up and why, because that's what you're looking for. If you're just investing for emotional support, go invest into whatever you want to. You can invest into ADA for as much as I care. But yeah, if you're trying to do TA, it's all about how many hours you're going to put in, how much discipline you'll have in either subject as well as research. How much discipline will you have, as how much self-restraint, because we still got a lot of time left. But by next bull run, you will have the abilities to really be something. I mean, every single one of you guys will be, with the amount of information and knowledge that's going to be on here. We're going to be doing a lot of like tutorial videos. I feel like there's nothing really else better to do when we have this low volume besides stream and bullshit. All right, we'll go over ETC, and then we're gonna close it off here. But yeah, with AXS, didn't look too well. Go to the wicks on there. But yeah, it did not look too well. Could not really find too much zones. But what did we see? Okay, well, we saw these little retracements to the upside, right? They happened all the time with AXS, which we see. We go here. We see a large push to the downside, bullish engulfing, right? At this little resistance, bearishness, boom, we do it again, right? It's just this little oscillation down, right? This little oscillation down. Just breaks through support, breaks through resistance, breaks through support. You guys see? Well, it just keeps on breaking through supports, actually. Not even resistances, sorry. Yeah, it doesn't even reach resistances because it was so weak. On the upside, we don't even reach supports because it's so strong. It's a good indicator that, you know, this shitcoin is going to fall because it went up too fast. Didn't even reach this, like, look at it, just nope, no supports for me. And then, you know, what happens? No resistances for me, sorry. But yeah, probably see this thing come all the way back down to around $5. I would say 5 to 9. That's a big estimate. We'll go into ETC. Do you like ETC? Remember how ETC looked like it was gonna, ETC was a little bit suicidal in my opinion. Hope everyone was watching out for him. Because, you know, we gotta watch out for ETC. He's about to fall. Sad as it is, man, like, you know, it's got a while to go down. ETC does, as the volatile push could not hold for too much longer. All right, we have this 31 level. If we go on the longer time frames, though, this is where it really shows. But still, 31, right? These are just wicks, guys. These are just wicks. Let's take off the wicks. Let's show actual price. Where is it closing? All right, so we have this 31 zone, right? We have this 27, we have this 23, and then this $19, $20 area. But if we look, okay, this is only January, okay? This is only March. This is bull run territory. What was Bitcoin's price at in March? Anyone remember? April? Well, ETC's was $19 or $20. Still have a while to come down with that. But let's go into price action right now. You guys probably are asking me ETC. You're trading. I know you are because probably what it is. But for the main part, right, we have, let's go look. Okay, what am I looking at right now? Well, first of all, we see that we've closed, okay, or we've opened the day below the pivotal point, right? Yes, we opened the day below the pivotal point. Had a little test up to resistance 1, then broke down. But look at how we have been doing, okay? Look how we've been going through this. We break down, we push up, we've kind of finished the day down. Just a little fake out, little oscillation, just diverting to the mean. But we see, you know, you guys are waiting to take trades. If you're going to be using some sort of, you know, pivotal point, you're waiting to take trades when you see the momentum happen, and you see it sort of pull back. You could do the pullback on the momentum of the main trends. So you don't want to be longing when you're in these types of situations because your risk to reward when you're longing in a downtrend, unless you get the reversal, which is, you know, you might as well wait for another higher low or in a higher high. It's not going to be too high, right? And the goal is to get you guys actually successful here. And you want to be waiting for the best times to actually, you know, get in the trades, highest probability. I think that's the first goal. And then, you know, you guys can move on from there. But it's just understanding that going against the trends is never a smart thing. And that is something that you will live and die by. But besides the point, too much talk, is we see that, you know, pivotal points, we close below it on the daily right here, open up on the day, close below it. Had a little push up, but we will close below it 80% of the time, okay? That's a really good probability that we have there. You know, we push up, we can't break through resistance 1. If we go to the wicks, I guarantee you we'll see some wicks to the R1 level. Let's see. Yep, to the R1, to the R1. And then we break down off of that, okay? That would be a good indicator. We break out of Bollinger Bands. You just don't want to use that, though. We also have, you know, the resistance here. Resistance of other candles as well. Not too much to break off of here, you know. Not too much, you know, momentum for ETC to break off. As you can see on the daily as well. Where's volume going? Volume's going down, guys. Volume's going down with ETC. Look at, we have some support. It's above it. But yeah, we need to make sure, you know, to understand. Look at this wick that we see too. Didn't even see this. Right? That's a pretty large wick. It's all the way down here to 32 that we didn't have. What was this? Is Grayscale selling? Holy shit. Guys, all right, let me show you something. We'll come back to it. But, hey, I mean, you guys need to be careful. If you're trading, do not trade altcoins unless you are experienced, because you want to know what happens? This will happen to you, okay? You won't have your stop loss in. You don't know price action. You don't know market structure. You don't know how to trade Bitcoin. And Dash goes up 70%. And let's actually put it on the 6-minute chart. Let's actually put it on the 1-minute chart. Show you guys how crypto works and why you got to be careful. All right, so in 1 minute, you know, you guys missed the best gain of your life, right? Good old 70% push to the top. And if you guys were in the Discord, okay, if you were in the Discord, you would have gotten a signal to short this, as we have a volatility pullback like bot that'll send signals like, oh, extreme volatility, because whales will do this all the goddamn time. So make sure to join that if you guys are not already in that. Great times in there. But for the most part, yep, that was, you know, a little bit of, you know, a railing. A little bit of a railing. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. You guys got time. Yeah, we'll go finish off ETC. All right, you guys don't need to watch the end of ETC if you don't want to. But it's important to know, okay, that we need to see this wick get recovered. Let's go back on the daily. Right, you could look at the daily closes all you want, but it's like, are you really going to be trading off the daily? Because when I don't know, I feel like most of you can't really trade. You can't really trade. You know, on the daily, you get entries on the shorter time frames, and when you look at the daily and you see a reversal, also, I didn't even go into Hekinashi. Okay, we didn't even go into Hekinashi. Okay, that'll be probably maybe tomorrow or tonight. We'll see. If I do finish that book, I'll probably, you know, post that on Twitter or something. And I go over a few really good strategies with Hekinashi that do have high success rates. And that strategy being, we're looking for confluence. Of course, we're looking for confluence. What's confluence? Multiple things point to one signal, right? We're in a downtrend. We're at a resistance level. We see doji candles, right? We see doji candles. And we also see, you know, multiple time frames lining up with bearishness. Let me take off pivotal points. Probably at a pivotal point up there, I can guarantee that. All right, so have some bearishness, have some dojis right here. Be a good indicator that, you know, 1 day, 12 hour, good time to short. And why would we be doing that as well? Because we're at some sort of resistance right here. I know you guys can't see it. Let's go on the regular candles. I can guarantee we got some sort of resistance here. Doesn't have a drawn in, but we do. At least for the time being, as this wick did not survive here very long, right? We broke out the Bollinger Bands, nice little retracement down. And yeah, we kind of broke back to the upside. And if you guys really wanted to, you could have put that down, shorted it at the 0.5 to the 618 level. If it was showing reversal, okay? If you do have this in, if you guys are going to be using some fib thing, you guys have to wait for price action to show a reversal. You have to be at a resistance level. You have to see multiple things line up with it, or else you don't enter the trade. It's just not your trade setup, man. Move on. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to, you know, make as many successful trades as you can. You're not just going by the gut. You're just going by, you know, how many successful trades can you win in a row. Or not in a row, but, you know, make. Because that's what's either going to make or break you as a successful trader. It's not, you know, how much money you can make off of one trade. That's literally the worst thing. What it is, you know, how fast you can, you know, make blah, blah, blah. No, it's how consistent can you be? How much can you preserve your capital? And it's really just all risk mitigation at the end of the day. Stop losses. If someone doesn't set stop losses, you guys are going to learn to set stop losses, or else I'm not talking to you. No, you guys, no stop losses. It hurts. It hurts. You'll learn one day. But we need to see break the Bollinger Bands, a little retracement down on the candlestick, higher low, kind of the start of a, you know, of a downtrend, right? We have selling pressure up here by the resistance. We have a push to the downside, right? Then we have a push to the upside, confirming the higher low. And then we break down. Pretty easy trend to spot. You guys are just looking at momentum in the candlesticks. You know, every single candle tells a story, and you don't need just sort of indicators that tell you that we're bearish or bullish. But yeah, that's, you know, the strategies are taking the shorts based off of if we break out of the Bollinger Bands and we still are in a macro downtrend, or we're in a macro uptrend and we break underneath them. Great indicator to long or to shorts. And then, you know, you have the ability with Bollinger Bands, and you're using some ATR as well. I mean, you guys can figure out where to put your stops from that book as well. But yeah, all right. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll get into maybe one more question, then we'll We'll go into it. We'll go into the end of this. I'm getting spammed. XRP. XRP. Just look at it. We'll just stare at it for a second. Down 4.5%. Out of support. Yeah. Not too much. Not too much. All right. So that's going to be the end of the episode. All right. We are bullish until we go under 25K. Okay. Yeah, we're bullish, guys, until we go under 25K. Okay, remember that. We're all bullish.